Dan's got to get a beer. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, love to see everybody out there tonight already. Viv, Holly Berry, Jake, I'm not T-Pain, Pokemon, Kimmy Q, Bonnie Bailey, KT recovers, Melissa in the motherfucking house, Jay Turner coming through, Robert in the house. Let's fucking go.
Let's rock.
Ladies and gentlemen, publicly buzzed live on the air on a Thursday night. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it, everybody. What the hell is going on out there? The world is coming to a climax, I believe. Everything is going absolutely off the rails insane. People have lost their fucking minds. I've got a lot of cases. I've got a lot of stories to go over with you here tonight. Dan is in the background. He just got himself a brewski. He's ready to rock and roll as well. And I appreciate it, guys. Hanging and banging here tonight. First story we're going to be going over here is going to be one that happened in Panama. Kenneth Darlington is this individual's name. A 77-year-old man has killed two protesters on the street, on the road from blocking the highway. Got out of his car, took out a gun, and killed two people in cold blood. We're going to be going over that one. Got a picture here for you. Boom. Live action shot of Kenneth. Fucked up scene. If you have not seen it, don't go watch it. Brian Raymond. Look at this scumbag. This is a CIA agent, okay? This guy's from La Mesa, California, and he just pleaded guilty on Tuesday to federal counts and is facing more than 20 years in prison for drugging and sexually abusing women around the world. Okay, using his credentials to do some really messed up stuff. We're going to be going over that story. John and Carrie Halford. Okay, this is a really crazy story out of Colorado that's going on right now. 190 decaying bodies was found inside of a funeral home. We're going to be getting into that story also. Serial killer alert, Heather Pressdee. Okay, Pennsylvania. This lady was jumping around nursing homes, injecting 17 different patients that succumb to insulin poisoning by this lady. And then she's admitted to 19 other people that she tried to kill. I've got some lighthearted stuff here also. I've got some funny Twitter clips here for you. I've got a crazy story with this individual right here. If we do get to this one, Rocky Myers. If we don't get to it tonight, we'll get to it soon. This man has been in prison for 30 years, and he's been maintaining his innocence that entire time. There's a big push right now to get this man's case looked at. And then an old story. Betty Lou Oliver. Old story that I found. This was through my Twitter feed. This lady survived two insane incidents in the same day. First of all, she survived a plane crash that crashed into the Empire State Building. Okay. She was inside of an elevator inside of the Empire State Building when that happened, and then plunged 75 stories and lived to tell about it. She also holds the world's record as the only person to fall that far and live. Ladies and gentlemen, Publicly Buzzed Live is on the air. What's up, Dan?
Hey now.
What are you doing?
What an intro. Shit.
I packed it up today.
That was good, dude. Loved it.
I didn't even look
really
at chat.
Set us up.
Woo! Everybody out there, what are you doing? Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Caroline Miller, Holly Berry in the motherfucking house. Doing the thing. Fuzzy Puff, Poke Mom. I think I called out everybody in here already. Already, guys. Jay in the house. Let me fix Jay here so my name's not over top of him here. Boom. Let me fix Dan's too. Boom.
God damn it.
The woman killed 50 senior citizens. Also, we have some funny stuff. That's what Publicly Buzzed is all about. Dara, like Sarah in the house. Everybody. Sarah also in the house. Viv, everybody. Thank y'all so much. What is happening out here for real, though, Dan? I know you looked at the Panama story.
I don't know, dude. Yeah, this is crazy.
Everybody's flipping their shit.
That shit was wild. Yeah, dude. Yeah, and I watched the video. I saw it on Twitter because it was on Twitter, and it was graphic.
Yeah, that's where I saw it. Hold on. I just want to make sure. What do I got here?
I'll make one point though. The protesters probably shouldn't have been antagonizing a fucking guy waving around a gun who's upset. Clearly,
I'm not for the fucking protesters being in the road blocking traffic. I mean, they're protesting. What is it? Hold on, I got the story up here. It's a mine. I'm not for this guy killing these fucking people in cold blood. This guy is a maniac getting out of his car and killing these two people. But yeah, what you said, they pulls out a gun. They're still not moving out of the fucking road. But I'm also not for people blocking the road, dude. Just imagine an emergency situation if a vehicle. This happens all the time here in America in major cities, and I think it's pretty messed up. And it can be very scary, quite honestly, for an individual that doesn't have a gun inside of a car.
I saw somebody translated what was said by one of the females there, and apparently she was like, "Well, go ahead and shoot us." Yeah, that's not what you say to a man who's upset holding a gun. That's like the last thing you say at all,
dude. This guy is out of his gourd. Clearly, he's had a copper mine. The Panama government has signed a deal with a copper mine to come in there, and that's what they're protesting. Again, I get the protesting. I'm for protesting. I'm not for blocking the fucking interstate or the highway, again, where emergency vehicles would be coming through there. And again, I'm also not for this man mowing down two people.
Did they block the ambulances from coming in to the people that were shot?
Good point. Yeah, they were probably letting that one in. But the whole scene is absolutely fucking goofy is what it is. I mean,
both sides were ignorant. Yeah,
but both sides were ignorant. Man, we have to have some common decency and sense from both sides and all sides. Now, this is all I'm seeing all the time on the internet, all the time on Twitter, all the time in these comment sections. Everybody is so shitty to each other all the time. I'm guilty of that also. But we really do have to see the other side a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of fucking pieces of shit out there, guys. We know where they are. I mean, they out themselves all the time, but not everyone is trash. And if some people could potentially or possibly come together in any kind of situation like this, I know this one was really out of control. I mean, I'm not, but fuck.
You know what I see a lot is people just don't think of consequences for their actions, right?
Not anymore.
People don't think ahead. In this case, even like 30 seconds, right? But people don't think ahead. How is their decision going to affect them tomorrow or next week? And like I said, in this case, the next 30 seconds to a minute, whatever the case is, people don't think about consequences. And I mean, both sides here, the people antagonizing the man with the guns, not thinking they're just not, they don't anticipate he's actually going to shoot anybody. They don't think about the possible consequences. And he's probably not thinking about the consequences either. He's out there waving a gun around. He's like, well, fuck it. If I go to, he's probably not thinking about prison or whatever. He's just upset or he's had a bad day or whatever the case may be with this guy.
And this guy,
it actually reminds me, it reminds me of a video I saw recently where there was an off-duty cop. It's a woman in like sweats, like she's not in a uniform or anything. She's off duty. She's outside of her apartment, I think, or something like that. And she's just walking, and this dude, she has a gun on her hip, like exposed, like a open carry. And this guy approaches her and attacks her and tries to take the gun from her. And she shoots him in the process. And after she shoots him, he's like, I can't believe you just shot me. I can't believe he was trying to take her gun from her, attacking her, and then goes, I can't believe you just shot me.
Dude, I saw, to back that one up, this was just on Twitter. Twitter, again, is the new Reddit. It's the old school Reddit. You're going to see the craziest shit ever on there. This chick rolled up on these people in a car talking mad shit. The young, they seem like teenagers, early 20s. I don't know, but they seemed young. What the fuck? What are you going to do now? Here I am. They're inside the car. And then she even mentions, oh, you got a gun? What are you going to do? What are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with that gun? And then they're inside the car talking. Keep talking. Move on. Get out of here. Go on. Again, I'm not condoning this in any way whatsoever because the chick outside did not hit her, but pop. Yep. And then the bitch's reaction, you shot me. You shot me. She starts staggering off in complete shock and then starts screaming. Her friends are with her too. They shot her. What are we doing?
People don't. They don't think people have the balls to actually do something. I guess I'm assuming. But people have the balls, so stop fucking antagonizing people that have weapons and guns. And just quit fucking with people. Period. Just at all. Like, dude, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
If somebody gets smacked in the fucking mouth for talking shit, stop talking shit. Like, that's the point.
Yeah, man. Yeah, there's so much of this insanity, and I feel like social media, it just revs it up to a whole nother level nowadays as well. Everybody wants that clout. Everybody wants to get that video. I see way too many of these videos of people not helping other folks. They want to make sure they get the clip. And I've always been of the mindset that we all are journalists now, especially now, right? Everybody that has a voice, everybody that has a phone, everybody that has the means to get out here, right here, us, we are doing this from our homes. We can be all journalists. But at the same time, you have to be responsible with that. And I think that's something that I'm even learning in real time. You have to be responsible with the responsibilities that you get, especially if you have a platform. And there's so many of these shitty younger people, and it's older folks too, but there's a lot of younger people that I don't feel like they've grown up with this their whole lives, right? They have grown up with this social media in their hands their whole lives. And now they're at this point to where it's not even weird. It's not even weird to just be walking around and see cameras at all times, whether it's on the stick or whether it's in front of their faces or whether it's a little thing they're, just wearing and capturing literally everything at every moment now. It's all being documented, but people are second or not. Okay, think about this. Back in the day, think about this, okay? I know you've seen, and anybody out there, have you seen those videos on YouTube of 1999 school class, the last day of high school, they got the camcorder, 2000, 90s, 2000s, before this whole boom of what's happening now. Look at how those kids are reacting to cameras. They're all, as soon as, I remember me and Dan, when we had a camcorder, our mom's camcorder, as soon as that thing would come out, we weren't natural. We were just, that's exactly how these kids
goofing off like hardcore.
Yeah, you just start extra goofing off, right? You're like, oh shit, you're trying to prank or whatever. And that's exactly what these videos was that I'm talking about. And they're really fun videos, guys. The 2000, look up like last day of high school, something like that. Late 80s, 90s, 2000s. Those are fun to watch. But look at how they react to cameras. Now look at how kids react to cameras, or even people in general react to cameras. It's not even a thing because I'm talking to a fucking camera right now in my basement. That's not a normal thing 20 years ago. So I don't know. We're in a completely different time period, man. And it's fucking crazy and scary. And again, what is going on? I think a lot of that's breaking a lot of people's brains. You don't know if you want the wrestling videos now. Let's go into this one real quick. We'll jump right over here before we go to the next one. Yeah, this was a fucked up scene though. A retired lawyer, allegedly, and it's not allegedly. I'm not saying allegedly. Do we have to say allegedly when we saw it with our fucking eyes? Shot and killed two men who were part of a protest blocking a highway in Panama. While he has not been officially named by police, the suspect has been widely reported as Kenneth Darlington, 77, a retired American lawyer and university professor who lives in Panama. Police said on X that a man has been arrested at the scene where he was charged with aggravated homicide and illegal possession of the firearm. So that's interesting. He illegally held it. And I don't know the gun laws in Panama. Mr. Darlington, who was born in Panama but has a U.S. citizenship, was caught up in a traffic jam on Tuesday on a Highway 55 miles west of Panama City, caused by protesters campaigning against the recent deal the Panama government made to restart a copper mine. Again, I'm not against the protesters whatsoever here. I am against protesting in the middle of a street. I'm not for that whatsoever.
Middle of a highway.
In the middle of a highway. Yeah, it's not even the same as a street. The protest attracted a group of photographers and TV reporters to the site of the traffic block where they had lined up the middle of the highway. Now, here's something. Now, you've watched the footage. I know a lot of us out here have probably watched the footage. Wrong one. But dude, like, as soon as he lets off the shot, those people don't even act right.
Yeah.
Just casually starts walking off.
They don't even fucking run or
just starts walking off casually. If someone gets fucking murdered in front of my eyes, I'm gonna freak out. What is wrong with people, bro?
They did kind of went and hid behind cars, but the reaction wasn't like what I would expect. Yeah, it wasn't. It's weird. I don't know. Like, people are weird.
It's right here. Mind of Monsters. People are getting so desensitized. And I feel it heavily, dude. Dude, there's so many fucked up things that you see all day long online now. And, you know, we've talked about this on here before. You go back and, you know, the days when you'd rent fucked up movies. Okay, maybe you accidentally got Faces of Death. There's a lot of fake shit in there, but there's some real death in there, right? You come across that. I remember the visceral reaction my brain had as soon as I fucking saw something like that. It was not good. I stopped it. I was like, it felt weird. I had an uneasy feeling. It was not, I can't even truly expound upon it or explain what I felt, but it was not good. That feeling is not in me anymore. And it's probably a lot because of the internet. And a lot of desensitization growing up, but it's just went into hyper overload, at least within the last decade, for sure.
Yeah. Yep, definitely. Damn, as Mandy said, I saw a lot of tweets. Like, people are like completely supporting this guy, like completely supporting his actions, which is not.
Oh, dude! Oh, shit! Oh, yeah! Fuck! Hold up! So I posted this on fucking TikTok. You want to see some pieces of shit? Holy fucking shit, dude! Yeah, people are insane. You can't even have a fucking conversation. I'm sorry. You can't even have a fucking conversation, though. You can't even, like, be normal and be like, hey, this is fucked up, but this is also fucked up, or this is... No, they have to be on some kind of weird side.
There has to be sides. There has to be black and white.
So you're on Trump's side, or you're on Biden's side, or it's this political thing? No! I'm on the side of being a fucking decent person, okay?
Yeah, there's never a gray area.
Let's see if I can even get in here right now. Something's happening. Yeah, look at... Okay.
Just posted a really disturbing news story.
My fucking comment section on here. Sorry, Dan. I keep cutting you out of here.
No, you're good. Oh, you mean...
I keep hitting the wrong one. I just want to show this. Okay. So this is my video. What the hell is going on with people? Jose Martin.
Tonight. Can't read it.
They got what was coming to them. Poor man getting arrested. He murdered 2 people in cold blood. They were blocking highway. Environmental radicals. They should be blocking a highway. I wouldn't call it murder. It was 100% murder. Whatever. Thumbs up. Just crushingly idiotic. Mason Valley came in with an actual decent post there. No, these people were clearly violent.
How were they violent?
Yeah, where?
Violent. I saw multiple angles.
You fuck face?
Actually, there's one angle where it's cut, right? There's a guy standing there with a flag, and it looks like he's kind of provoking the guy with the gun. And then it cuts to after that man is shot, and then it shows the second man get shot. So people were saying that it was cut because they're trying to portray the guy, the shooter, as the bad guy, when actually the guy with the flag attacked him. That's what they were trying to say at first. But then another angle came out that showed the guy with the flag just standing there with the flag, and then he gets shot.
Yeah.
So he did nothing. He was just standing there. And yes, they were verbally provoking the guy, which I said earlier was idiotic.
That's stupid. That was stupid as hell.
There's no reason for him to shoot these 2 in cold blood. Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing you've said gives another person the right to take anyone's life. I've said. I mean, it's insane, dude. Like, oh, right here, this person, Jamie, Ohio. How about you show why he did it? I guarantee they went at him. Why would you fucking say that if you don't know what you're talking about? Your literal words. How about you show why he did it?
Yeah.
And then I guarantee they went at him. So you don't actually know that?
Yeah.
And then another person was in here talking.
And we do know. We know
Anthony Ortiz. This sounds fake. Do you not have Google? Like, what are wrong with fucking people, bro?
There's video evidence of this. Like,
everybody is so fucking warped.
there's cases like, lots of cases that we cover where we don't have video evidence of things happening, where there's theories, right? There's state theories, and then there's defense theories, and then there's the internet theories that, go wild. There's no theory here. We have video evidence of what happened during this incident. We know what happened.
Yeah, this one pissed me off, dude. And it pissed me off when I posted it and you start getting these comments about bullshit, dude. Like, I don't know, man. This one really got me. And again, like, you're watching it and you almost like, because anytime I see these videos and I hate seeing these highways get blocked up by protesters. I'm not for that in any way whatsoever. I mean, that's insanely fucked up, and it could cause to some really crazy delays, again, in an emergency vehicle getting to somebody. Like, who even knows? But again, this dude 100% murdered 2 people in cold blood because he had had enough, or whatever the fuck in society that we're getting to here that has worn people down, man.
Yep.
It's fucked up. Oh, wow. Let's keep moving.
Insane. And yeah, the comments will fucking fire you right up, dude. That shit is annoying.
I know. Brian Raymond. Okay, ladies. Here's one that you can fucking hate. You can also say a big fuck you to the government for, because they are putting this guy in prison for 20 years, okay? He raped and drugged women across the world. Okay, he was a CIA agent, former CIA officer. I'm just going to read this out here. Accused of drugging and sexually abusing at least 24 women in multiple countries, pleaded guilty Tuesday. He is from La Mesa, California. Took hundreds of videos and photographs of naked, unconscious women dating to 2006. Okay, nearly 2 fucking decades of this guy out here being an absolute maniac. Raymond, 47, drugged and sexually assaulted women. Several women from 2006 to 2020, and he also, again, photographed and recorded them. At least 28 victims in these photographs and video. He was arrested in Mexico City, where he had been stationed in 2020 after a woman he met on a dating app Tinder was found screaming for help from his balcony. I guess, luckily, she didn't actually get drugged, or maybe seen something was up and freaked out and got to the balcony, causing a neighbor to call police. Federal court documents have described Raymond as an experienced sexual predator. Could you imagine being in a situation where, even if you realize this has happened, nothing can happen, nothing can be done? This guy's above the law, essentially. He's in these other countries. He's probably using that power over top of these poor women who are probably sex workers anyways. This is one of the scummiest types of crimes there are. I mean, of course, murder. We see the worst of the worst here on this channel and in true crime. But this one is so much, it adds an extra layer of sludge to it because of what he had accomplished in his life and the credentials that he had gotten to make it easy for him to get into these positions to hurt women.
And somehow he only got 20 years?
And yeah, we're talking 20
1 year
years
per
here.
Victim?
Yeah, essentially.
That doesn't sound right.
So you do whatever the fuck you want to another human being's body after you've knocked them unconscious with whatever cocktail you've given them, poisoning their body, and they're gone, and you can do, again, whatever evil deeds you want to, and that means 1 possible year, at least looking at this case. If you were just going to take this off to the side and say, well, let's just break this down here for a second. Is it worth it? Is going to say some fucking scumbag?
He was doing the classic Bill Cosby move, right?
Dude.
Basically on the same level.
I don't know how many of these have been
using power to manipulate and do. I mean, it's basically.
It really is the same thing. Like, his was celebrity. That was his power. Celebrity, money. And I'm sure this guy was well off too. Again, being stationed around the world as a federal fucking agent, as a CIA agent. During the investigation, the FBI set up a website seeking more potential victims. Raymond traveled extensively, both for work and leisure. The agency said he worked at the U.S. Embassy in Mexico City from August 2018 until May 2020. Raymond pleaded guilty to sexual abuse, abuse of sexual contact, and enticement and transportation of obscene material. He will be sentenced to 24 to 30 years in prison. So we don't know exactly what it's going to be, but it's still a serial predator like this. Throw it away. Yeah, make sure he doesn't get out again.
These sentences for these crimes aren't good enough. I just looked up Bill Cosby. He only got 3 to 10.
He got out on a technicality, dude. They ended up.
Yeah, and he got out.
Yeah, his lawyers ended up finding some kind of.
Still only 3 to 10 for what he did.
Right. Still not enough either way.
Yeah.
And he, his will really piss you off too. And he's out here ready to fucking do a tour. Raymond will be under the supervised release for life and must pay pay the victims. This is insanity. This is fucking insanity, dude. Yeah, there's some scummy ones out here. We'll jump right into another one here. I know you guys have seen this one. John and Carrie Hallford. Okay, I've got multiple things up here, and I'm going to actually play a video with this one. Let me fix the... I know I got the camera fucked up over here. I got pissed off with those TikToks now. Motherfuckers. These motherfuckers. Everybody's lost their minds, though. That's all I've come to realize. You know what? Also, what makes you realize that when you find good folks, how much you should cherish those folks, man. Because there's a lot of craziness out here, and we have found. I'm just going to go with inside the group we're talking about right now. All the people here in chat, all the family and friends that we have made through this, man, unbelievable, so fucking dope. In a world, again, that should be a light right there. In a world of the most insane stories, every single day I meet and talk to really dope, amazing people who are awesome. It's crazy. I just saw Jay's message there. I got my things screwed up over here somehow. I don't know where the hell they're at. Keep forgetting about it. I'm going to pop it up here. Get rid of this fuck face. Right here. I'm on fire tonight, baby.
I'm telling you like it is, baby.
We're not messing around. Everybody hanging and banging here tonight. Thank y'all so much. Appreciate it. Let's go into this one. I know you guys have probably seen this one as well. Wrong one. Boom. Colorado funeral home owner and his wife arrested. Charges linked to at least 189 decaying bodies found in a funeral home. Let's see if I got the sound on for this.
I can tell you that these bodies, some of which have been here for several years. And so... Years. Yes.
First tonight at 6, a News 5 exclusive. The El Paso County coroner is revealing new details after his office completed 189 autopsies from the victims of the Return to Nature funeral home investigation in Penrose.
And his office completed the autopsies last week. News 5 investigates. Allison Zimmerman in studio with more information that he's sharing tonight. Allison?
Rob and Diane, Dr. Leon Kelly says federal investigators worked alongside his office for a week straight, working 12-hour days to try and identify all 189 bodies. He says many of the victims were from El Paso County. Mobile morgues are still outside the coroner's office today. The coroner says after they finished the autopsies, they had identified 150 of the 189 bodies, some of which he says his office had previously conducted autopsies on. The coroner credits the expertise of his office in being able to identify the bodies. He says some of the victims had been dead for several years.
So not all of them were recent, which speaks to the condition and the level of difficulty in identifying many to most of them.
Dr. Kelly says the Fremont County Coroner's Office is now undertaking the task of notifying those families that they've identified. Coming up tomorrow on News 5, the coroner shares how his office worked through such a massive...
So this was the place was called Return to Nature Funeral Home. So the way I'm kind of gathering this is that this was basically one of those where they put you back into the earth naturally.
Like they probably cremate you and put you in a tree or something, right? Or is it like that?
I'm about to read through here. Let's see. Some of the remains, again, of Return to Nature Funeral Home investigation. And if I got this up to where you guys can see it properly. Read it good here. El Paso County Coroner Dr. Kelly said his office worked alongside the FBI identification team, Fairmont County, and the Air National Guard to conduct all 189 autopsies within a week and made several discoveries. I can tell you that these bodies, some of which have been here for several years, not all of them were recent, which speaks to the condition and level of difficulty. I couldn't even imagine that, right? Like the bodies would be literally melting. Or do they have them in a freezer? The coroner said the majority of the bodies were from El Paso County, and many of the bodies had received an autopsy and in his office prior. Return to Nature Funeral Home operated locations in both Colorado Springs and Penrose. The registration for the Penrose location had expired in November of 2022. It kind of was a little bit of an extra tragedy to the situation, I think, but at the same time, we have served these people once and we will serve them again, Kelly said. For a week, the staff of El Paso County's coroner's office worked 12-hour days on 3-hour rotations with one medical examiner working at a time. By the end of the week, Kelly said they had identified about 150 of the 189 bodies. Yeah, some of these probably ain't even able to be identified. You may have families that have grieved and moved on, and they may be across the country. They may be across the world, and they may have no idea that this has happened. Families who used Return to Nature in the past should contact the FBI and fill out the available forms. That process may take many months because unlike fingerprints or identification, the medical hardware or tattoos are some of the things that we were able to do initially here to identify folks. Those have been exhausted, Kelly said. Families are in the process of being notified by the Fairmont County coroner. In the meantime, the bodies will remain in El Paso County until families select their next funeral home. Meanwhile, at the El Paso County coroner's office, Kelly said he's working to take care of his staff because on top of the load of conducting autopsies, there are still other deaths in El Paso County, of course. You still have your day-to-day. Kelly said the expertise of his staff was highlighted during this process, calling it one of the most remarkable efforts he's seen in his 16-year career. This is why they go into this job like this. This is why we do this, Kelly said. The period after, when it's over, that's when it gets tough. He said he's working to schedule as much time off as he can for his staff. I've been in a lot of mass fatality exercises, and I can tell you we've never table-topped this, but it's one of those situations where you have a plan, you work the plan, you adapt it, and you adapt it to how you need, Kelly said.
So I was right. Yeah, they mix your ashes with seeds.
Ah, okay.
And then spread you around to plant you with the seeds.
And they just said, "Fuck it, we're gonna just."
So I guess they were giving them fake ashes.
Oh, you're right. No, actually, one part of the story I did read, I'm not going to be able to find it right off. Or maybe somebody told me this on Twitter. These fuckfaces were giving gravel and stuff for people to carry around.
Yeah. Because he was never cremating them, right?
I'm sorry?
He was never cremating them.
He wasn't. So. He was just... What the hell, dude?
That's fucking insane.
What the hell? Yeah, this story is... this week has been full of some really messed up stories. God, yeah, Shelley got Dahmer walking in there. That's a good segue for this Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. Shelley, anybody that comes through Murder Church, I know last Feral Friday, I basically said we're going to start Dr. Kevorkian this Sunday. We are not going to be doing that. Bob Motta wants to be, I want Bob Motta here too, but he also wants to be a part of the opening statements of that. He's on vacation right now. He's actually going to be in a wedding Saturday. So this Sunday is going to be, I put him on the spot for that too. And he probably wasn't thinking about that wedding in New Orleans. So he's going to be having a good weekend. So the following Sunday, Murder Church will do Dr. Kevorkian. This Sunday, we're going to do a little bit of something that we can cover in one day. It's going to be a Charles Manson segment, actually. Yeah, it's basically, it's going to be him.
Parole hearing.
Yeah, being in front of the parole board, trying to get parole in 1992. So it's 3 videos, and that should...
I've watched that before, actually.
Oh, nice, yeah. And anybody that's familiar with this channel knows that I, am really... the Manson story, Sharon Tate, Roman Polanski, the 60s, that entire thing is just... I've always been kind of I don't know, it's always just been something I've been enamored with, quite frankly. It's so interesting.
Manson is incredibly fascinating to watch. In the interviews, even if he's just sitting there and not talking, it's just fascinating to watch him for some reason. I don't know what it is. Even just little micro movements that he makes, what's going on in his head, because he's wild, man. Who was it that interviewed him? Just the famous woman, the famous interview with him.
He's got a few. I think Diana Sawyer got him.
I think that's the one. She's interviewing him. She like fucks him up a couple of times, and you can see it in his head because he doesn't like being fucked up.
He doesn't.
He loves to have control over what's the interview.
Hardcore narcissist.
And when she slips him up and he doesn't actually have an answer right away, you can see him like kind of freak out a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's so fascinating to watch that.
It's very interesting.
And then he literally like stumbles a little bit and then picks back up. And he's spitting nonsense. Watching that his brain work like in real time is wild.
To that point, watching him get interviewed by Geraldo Rivera is actually extremely frustrating because the entire time Geraldo Rivera is just attacking him and not even trying to actually conduct an interview. He's just like attacking him with the crimes. So that wasn't, I didn't like the way that one was done. But there's one, and it's with a French lady. This lady came over from like France to do an interview with him. And that one's really interesting because instantly out the gate, he's like, takes control of the room. As soon as he walks in, he's basically like, "Who are you? Yeah. You're a female. I wasn't supposed to be doing an interview with you." And, just like going into it and like, I'll tell you what, I'll do it if you can get me a pack of smoke, something like that. Like,
I remember that. Yeah.
Like he's just trying to get the upper hand, like Dan just said in the conversation or in the moment. He does say a lot of nonsense and a lot of craziness. To that point, Charles Manson also says a lot of stuff that makes sense to me.
That's true. Yeah.
But it's usually followed up with a lot of bullshit. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, he
has points, but he's also an insane person.
I think he accidentally makes points sometimes.
You might be right.
Honest. Like, because he does do so much shit that he says is just like, you can tell it's just he's making it up on the spot even. Like, it's kind of garbage. Like, you can really tell. Especially in that Diane Sawyer's interview. Like, like when she fucks with him, like somehow, like, I don't even know how she does it, but something like she just asks him the exact right question and he literally doesn't have an answer for it on the spot.
Short circuits.
And he fucking, like, you can see the wheels turning and then he can't answer it. So he just starts spitting out garbage, like shit that just makes zero sense.
Yeah. Once he starts doing that, it's almost like he gets on like this, like a blah, 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 blah. Like he gets on this like weird.
He starts doing the weird thing.
Yeah. He can't even like bring it back or something. It's weird.
Somehow he kind of does it though. You know what I mean? Like
he usually does.
Like in the middle or towards the end, he'll kind of bring it back to a point. But it's just, he's fascinating.
His
brain is crazy.
But yeah, that's this Sunday. We're going to do something super quick. So Murder Church is still on, baby. And then the following Sunday, Dr. Kevorkian, we're going to start a trial, and it's going to be amazing. I'm excited to have Bob on for the first one too. First ever guest on Murder Church. What have I got here next for you guys? A serial killer. Oh my God, this week, guys. Today I was like, I'm packing it in. I'm going to fucking come in with a hammer for you guys. So Heather Pressdee. Okay, this lady was jumping around nursing homes in Pennsylvania for years, and she racked up an insane number of victims of the elderly. 17 people I dropped my lighter. She injected insulin into. Another insulin poisoning serial killer here. And here's the thing. She just admitted to trying to kill 19 other people. So, I mean, she was not, and that's what's crazy to me. She's just like, well, I guess I'm just going to let you guys know. Also, I wasn't happy with my number. Heather Pressdee talked openly about how the elderly, frail patients she cared for at a medical facility around Western Pennsylvania just needed to die. The registered nurse reportedly told her mother in a text that she wanted to give a resident pillow therapy. A reference to smothering them with a pillow, they said. She mocked people with intellectual disabilities, according to witnesses cited in court records, and told her colleagues that a man with a brain injury didn't deserve to live. As Pressdee moved from facility to facility over the last 3 years, 17 patients with serious but generally stable health conditions suddenly died, many after suffering from dangerously low levels of blood sugar. At multiple facilities, doctors and nurses who worked with Pressdee raised concerns that she might be harming patients. They were right to be afraid, authorities now say. As of last week, Pressdee has been charged with killing 4 of her patients and faces 4 counts of murder. She also faces 17 counts of attempted murder and 19 counts of neglect of a care-dependent person, all related to her dosing patients with insulin. I think I had my numbers off there. Pressdee told authorities she had given nearly 24 patients large doses of insulin, which can cause blood sugar to plummet. I just covered 2 stories last week with similar manners of reasons somebody had died because of being poisoned by insulin. The Pennsylvania Attorney General's office said Pressdee had been charged with murder in incidents in which there was physical evidence to show that she had caused patients' deaths. In cases in which victims survived or whose cause of deaths was unclear, she was charged with attempted murder. In all, prosecutors said 17 patients, 17 patients died in her care between 2020 and 2023. In interviews with law enforcement officials, authorities said Pressdee said she had injected patients with insulin in some cases because she believed their quality of life was poor and that they would be better off dead. She told investigators she felt bad for patients she perceived to be suffering.
She was euthanizing them, was doing them a favor.
That's her argument. She's got a Dr. Kevorkian argument. Difference between that is people were coming, to my understanding, coming to Dr. Kevorkian for assisted suicide. You weren't laying at the will of another person who's playing an angel of death, who's decided to inject large amounts of insulin into your system to fuck you up. That's where it gets real fucking dirty. So even if that was her thought, you can almost kind of be like, okay, but you can't make that decision for somebody. Yeah, the damage done to the victims and their loved ones cannot be overstated. Every person in a medical or care facility should feel safe and cared for. Absolutely. That's something that always freaks me out. Not only for later in life for us, but for our mom, who was an older lady. She lives with Dan, and they take care of her. But it's a very it goes back to the fucked up world we're living in right now, right? Like, I like the area of the world we live in, quite frankly. I feel like it's still a little bit slow moving. There's fucked up shit that happens here, just like every other part of the world. You see the badness in cities. You see the badness all around the world. It's happening, especially right now, for whatever reason, multiple reasons. But right here where we live kind of in the mountains of West Virginia. It's still a little bit slower. To that point, I will say that medicine isn't as good. Doctors aren't as good here per se, especially if you're a little bit more, if you're on the poorer side, you want to go to a Morgantown or a city or a Charleston, where the care could probably be a little bit better. I know the immediate hospitals in our area aren't the best, but to saying that, going back to my point here, that's something I always still worry about.
Steve Sleuthy just said there was a nurse in West Virginia who worked at the Virginia nearest to me, and she took out a bunch of poor old men at the Virginia place with insulin.
Oh God, yeah. What is with this? Yeah, there was a nurse in West Virginia who.
At the VA, not Virginia.
Oh, at the VA. Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, man. Yeah, I do like West. Well, Sleuthy's from West Virginia too now.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's our state, and it's happening here too. I mean this is apparently not an uncommon thing.
No, it seems like it's a very common thing, and hell, Sleuthy just came in and just slapped me right in the face. Like, well, West Virginia sucks too.
Yeah, you were just talking about how.
But I mean, it's still again to the point of the way the cities are going. I feel like it's a little bit slower. But hell, by the time we're fucking 60, dude, I'm pretty worried about it. I'm pretty worried about where we're gonna be.
This actually reminds me of one that I don't have the details because it's been so long since I've read about it. But there was one where I think it was a guy, and this is a little bit different because it was far more violent. But he was like he was a nurse or a caretaker at a facility, and he was like walking around and like stabbing elderly people in their sleep,
dude.
And he got a bunch of them before he was caught. Like. It was crazy.
Did anyone actually die and succumb to their?
I don't have I don't remember the details. It just kind of kicked it around in my brain, like reminded me of it.
Yeah, dude, you see a lot of that stuff. There was one really messed up story. It was during COVID where a lot of different states was doing a lot of different fucked up things, a lot of different things. They were mixing some of the older folks because they were running out of how the whole world was going crazy at that point in time. But they were running out of room for older folks, and I think it was mentally ill younger folks, maybe even like a psych ward type of situation, but they started mixing them together. I'm talking old hospice folks who were on their way out, and mixing them with, younger psychotic individuals who were trying to get better. And there was one incident where a young man was seen. He videoed himself doing it. Again, this goes back to what I was talking about earlier, just punching this old man in the face repeatedly. And it is one of the most fucked up videos I've ever seen. And when you listen to the young man's dad talk, he is one of the most pissed off people in the world, because he's talking about how my son, known as a, kind of a psychotic, mentally challenged person who was here for a reason, got mixed in with these individuals, and he was violent as well. And he's on the same floor with these older people who are in beds dying. Yeah. There was so much fucked up shit going on, man. You could probably do days and days of this stuff. Insane. It's insane. This has been a wild one. So I also wanted to make sure that I got a little bit of fun in here as well, folks. And a happy story. Let me give you this one right here. This one's pretty cool. I talked about it out the gate. This lady, okay? Betty Lou Oliver. Okay, this lady is crazy. Also lived a long life. The Empire State Building B-52 crash of 1945. In July 28, 1945, Betty arrived at the Empire State Building where she worked as an elevator attendant. It was all set up to be just another ordinary day at work for the 20-year-old. Little did she realize that the foggy conditions outside would turn her world upside down. It was in the final months of World War II, and a B-25 service bomber was embarking on a basic mission which involved bringing servicemen from Massachusetts to LaGuardia Airport in New York City. The pilot was the vastly experienced Captain William Smith, who had led some of the war's most dangerous missions. By the time Smith had arrived in New York, the fog had significantly reduced visibility. Smith contacted LaGuardia and requested permission to land. He was advised not to land, and according to the writer of The Sky is Falling, a book about the events of this fateful day, Arthur Weingarten, Smith ignored the order and made a turn that brought him over Midtown Manhattan. It appears as if Smith, I'd never heard this story before. It appears as if Smith became disoriented by the fog, and rather than turning left after the Chrysler Building, like he should have, Smith turned right and was now directly among the city's skyscrapers. At the time, the Empire State Building was the tallest in the world. Smith crashed between 78th and 80th floors. Smith, the 2 crew members on board, and 11 people in the building died, unfortunately. Search crews, that is not the happy part of the story. That is very unfortunate. I'm here for the lady that survived. Damn. Still going to have some sadness here for you guys. I'm sorry about that. Search crews did not find Smith's body for 2 days as it went through an elevator shaft and was at the bottom. Inside there was chaos as shocked employees tried to flee as soon as possible. According to Teresa Willig, who worked the 79th floor, she could see nothing but flames. She described the horrific spectacle of seeing a man named Mr. Fountain catch fire. Jesus. The impact of the crash was felt throughout the building on the 56th floor. Gloria Paul said it felt as if the building was about to topple over. Despite being over 20 floors from the impact, it was strong enough to throw her across the room. When the plane crashed, parts of the engine flew into the building and weakened the cables of a pair of elevators on the 79th floor. This action ensured that Betty had a day she would never forget, as she cheated death twice in the space of minutes. At the moment At the moment that Captain Smith crashed that plane into the Empire State Building, Betty Lou Oliver was working on the 80th floors as the elevator attendant. The crash caused her to be thrown out of her vehicle, as well as suffering severe burns. Betty had a broken pelvis, back, and neck. They were terrible injuries, but it was clear that Betty would survive. At first, aid workers helped her and placed her on an elevator to the ground floor. Soon, she would be driven to the hospital for proper treatment. Meanwhile, Willig was still in shock over what happened on the 79th floor. In the immediate aftermath of the crash, she was certain it was all over for everyone on the floor. Speaking years later, Willig described in a small universe as if it was akin to being stuck in a small island surrounded by fire. While someone had managed to open a window and Willig used a handkerchief to protect her from the smoke, several women passed out from the fumes. At some point, a man named Paul Deering jumped as he panicked in the aftermath of the fire. Willig was so sure that her time on Earth was over that she took the rings off her fingers and threw them out of the window. Fortunately, her fears were groundless because firemen arrived on the scene and rescued all the survivors. Powell later admitted that she had no idea what happened 23 floors up until she was out of the building and saw the tail of the B-25 bomber sticking out of the building. Holy fuck. The rescuers had placed Betty on a stretcher and put her in an elevator on the 79th floor. Unfortunately, they didn't know that the cables on that elevator had been weakened in the crash. As soon as they placed Betty on the elevator, the cable snapped and Betty started to hurtle down towards the bottom of the elevator shaft. Her entire life must surely have passed before her eyes as the elevator rocketed towards the ground. In a few seconds, she would be dead at just 20 years of age, but no opportunity to achieve any other goals. Remarkably, Betty survived her second ordeal that day with an extraordinary amount of luck. The elevator plunged a total of 75 stories, approximately 1,000 feet. Wow. This lady is insanely lucky. As it transpired, the 1,000 feet of elevator cable had broken away and fallen to the bottom of the shaft before Betty landed. By the time she landed, the cable was there to provide a softer landing surface. Oh, the rapid compression. So lucky. The rapid compression of air also added to the cushion. Although there are more fun ways to end up in the Guinness Book of World Records, Betty's name was added for the unlikely feat of longest survived elevator fall. Wow. A record she still holds to this day. Yeah, you don't hear, especially that, I mean, you hear even like 20, 30 elevator feet, right? Like you're not going to live from that. You always hear if you jump just in time, you might, no. It's not going to happen. She got real lucky though. Well, that wasn't exactly the best story. That ended up being pretty dark. Wow. Woo! What's Jay doing in here?
Happy story or feel good story of the year? Oh fuck!
Hold on.
Oh man, thanks Steve for this comedic break. That was really
Woo!
Funny. He's killing me.
Okay, hold on. Oh well. About a dog humping a guy fighting a man.
I see what you mean, though. I mean, she survived a lot. She made it.
She was lucky. Everyone else, not so much.
Yeah, police coming.
What's going on?
Y'all trying to fuck
shit.
Getting it.
Y'all trying to fuck
That dog bro, get off of him. Get off my dude.
This shit here go viral like a
This dog getting it, bro. This dude in the middle of a fight.
Yeah, police coming.
Oh shit! He's like,
Let's go. Let's go. It loops perfect too.
He fighting dude, y'all trying to fuck him.
Man, what the hell?
I hope it's just a stray. Hope it ain't neither one of them's dog either. Hope it's just a stray dog out here.
yeah, just a random dog.
Just hanging out.
My chance.
Here's a good one. Here's a fun one. We all just need this today. Let's just take a break here, fellas. Cut the music before we get copyrighted. This dog just feeling it. God, yes.
Yeah. Does seem to enjoy that rain. Or maybe he's just stuck. Maybe that's actually a tragic story.
Give me the fucking needle, bitch. What are you doing?
That was pretty good. God damn it. Quit playing around.
And the final video for your viewing pleasure.
I'm going to get across. I'm going to get my... Look, my trousers are getting dirty. Look at the state of my feet. I've got to try and get over there.
Sandals.
I don't know how I'm going to get across.
Oh, The world's falling apart around us, but we still got to laugh. Oh, God. All right. I definitely set that up terribly. I set that up horribly wrong. I definitely was not a feel-good story.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, damn, hit the church bells. Church is now in session. Is Viv here?
Is this a new format where we tell some tragic stories and then get a little cleanse the mind with some comedy at the end?
That's actually, that was my plan. My new format is started out running the shit down, come in, kill the stories, and then have a little bit of... I
love it.
Right? I mean...
Yeah, that should be Thursdays. I love it.
I don't know what's happening tomorrow.
If we have stories. Yeah, if we have stories to go over.
So many fucking stories.
Yeah.
You guys are killing me. I'm sorry. I fucked that all up. I fucked that.
Dude.
The story was amazing. The lady living was great. The lady living was great. Love it. All right, guys.
I love the new start time as well. It's amazing.
9 p.m. is perfect. I don't know what's happening tomorrow for Feral Friday. We'll figure it out, though. Yeah, we'll see what's up. I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about something a little different. It's been a while since we've talked about some weird shit.
Excuse me. Yeah, we could do some weird shit.
Maybe we'll go with something like that. I don't know. I've been watching Brian Hinton, man. He did some cool videos with some of the alien stuff that was going on. It actually was a two-part special from News Nation that I just finished. He was going in and talking, just to everybody that's involved about all the new news that's coming out and stuff. But Bob Lazar, what's the one dude's name? Like the guy that fucking started everything as producing it as news. George Knapp. George Knapp from Coast to Coast. Dude, it's really cool because George Knapp is the guy that put this on the radar, as news in Las Vegas with that local news agency. But he was the first person to really kind of look at it and be like, "What's going on here?" He was the guy that interviewed Lazar. He was the person that first ever interviewed Lazar. Well, Lazar was acting like he was, in a silhouette, like they changed his voice and shit. So George Knapp has been on this since the beginning, and he's a major part of this. And it's really cool to see him being interviewed by Brian Hinton. And basically he's like, what's it like to be... Those interviews from 87, 88, 89. I don't think 87. I think 88, 89. But he's basically like watching this from the beginning go to where he's in fucking Congress now, right? Like he's seeing this at a whole nother level. So I don't know. I've been kind of watching some of that stuff, though. Yeah, George Knapp fucking rules.
I would be down for that.
Dude, I love George Knapp.
Yep.
Oh, God, too bad we can't get him on here. Bob dancing at the wedding, right? Hell yeah, Tabby. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Yeah, everybody hanging out. This has been a great show. Love it, guys. Here at Publicly Buzz, we're going to be bringing you the goods. This is thanks to Jay also. Jay figured out how to get this as just a freaking link now. I'm going to post a link in here, guys. This is my Amazon link. Anybody that maybe is going to be purchasing anything on Amazon, whether that's for Christmas or for yourself, use that link. Actually, I think I did the thing where I've got a link in there also. But use that Amazon link, and that helps Publicly Buzzed out slightly. We get a little bit of a kickback there. I'm also working on getting my merch switched over to another provider. It's still going to be going through Big Cartel. Everybody would still be purchasing the merch on the same site on publiclybuzz.com, but I'm getting it set up to where I'm actually going to be having it fulfilled through someone online. The quality of the shirts are going to be higher, and the turnaround for the shirts being put out is going to be quick, like within 2 to 3 days. So I'm working on that right now. I've got a few of those already set up. I've got the new logo shirt up. So yeah, publiclybuzz.com for any merch. And again, trying to make it to where not only is it higher quality stuff, but also it'll just get done a little bit quicker. Anybody didn't know, for the longest time I did my merch locally here, so that's why it would take a little bit longer, but we're going to try to get that fixed up a little bit for you guys. One more promo. I've got a promo Tuesday night. I know this is a little bit away and everybody's probably going to see me before then, but still, Tuesday only on Kick. Chris Dewitt is going to be coming on, and we're going to be watching the movie Monster. This is going to be a really good Twisted Tuesday. 11/14 next Tuesday, again, exclusively only on Kick, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Chris has interviewed Warnos's best friend, and he knows a lot of stuff. He's close to the area and knows a lot of stuff about the actual story. So he's going to be here. We're going to be doing a watch along and kind of pausing it like we have been. And the following week, we will finish the rest of the Gacy movie that we started this week on Twisted Tuesday, the To Catch a Killer, the 1992 made-for-TV film. But yeah, this Tuesday is going to be super fun with Chris. I'm excited about that. That was actually his idea. He reached out and was wanting to do something, and yeah, I thought that was cool. Sick. I thought that was going to be super cool.
It's awesome that he's willing to come on and watch a movie. That's awesome.
Dude, yeah, man. He is. He's fucking dope. Like, he's so cool. Yeah, and Dara, thank you. Oh, Dara's the one coming through with that Amazon link. Thank you so much. Seriously, Dara, that's fucking amazing. Because people are coming through. I've seen a little bit of kickbacks. I think I've made $12. It's pretty freaking sweet. And Dara also ordered a hoodie, which should be getting finished this week, Dara. So, and thank you so much for coming through with some merch and always being amazing. Oh, dude, yeah. Yeah, Phil got his tie-dye shirt, the exclusive. I think he got the acid wash, the last ever acid wash print. And yeah, right here, Mandy coming through. Thank you, veterans. Are you off tomorrow, Dan?
I am, yeah.
Oh, you lucky son of a bitch.
Yep.
I'm not. I am not off.
I am off.
I've got the
3-day weekend.
Perfect soundbite for this one.
Country.
This
is gun country.
Yeah, thank you all the veterans. I wish I had it off tomorrow. I actually asked that today. I was like, do we have any veterans that work here? And if they do they get it off? And no, they don't.
Oh, well, that's kind of fucked up.
What the fuck are we? What? If they ask, they'd probably get it off. I'm not going to act like I work for Satan, but they should get it off.
They'd have to use a vacation day, I bet.
Yep. Yes.
Apparently, I mean, Jay found out earlier that even the courts are open tomorrow, so...
Yeah, that's right.
I would have thought they would have.
I would have thought they'd have been done. They're
not.
out here, 3-day weekend.
She's a federal employee, so of course she gets it.
Oh, I've seen us spit on your grave. I would never show a spit on your grave ever.
No, you can't show that
with people, with public. I love that movie. That movie's amazing. One of the best revenge films ever. But it is barbarically graphic. And I actually watched that movie once at a Halloween party with mixed company, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a fun watch. Because of the awkwardness.
It's just so brutal. Yeah.
But it's also not a movie for mixed company because of how brutal it is.
The remake was also pretty brutal. It wasn't as brutal.
It's not as brutal, but pretty bad. Yeah. Like I'm talking like a 30-minute rape scene. Like,
yeah, it's insane.
It's pretty bad. But, and you watch that and, you'll have somebody kind of, they're glorifying rape at the beginning. You have to stick through the whole thing because the ending, when this lady gets her revenge.
Yeah.
Wow. What the when she cuts off dude's dick in the fucking bathtub, that's my favorite scene ever, bro. She turns this fucking like classical music up as loud as she can. She tricks the guy because these guys that raped her are still lurking, and she gets this guy inside and she's like, yeah, how about we take a bath, because this fucking guy's an idiot. Like, yeah, I'm gonna rape you brutally for 30 minutes and I guess we'll just take a bath together and I guess you'll suck my... No, you fucking moron. She goes into the fucking bathroom like he should have. Locks him in there, gets him in there, makes sure he gets fucking naked. She might have got naked too, I don't remember, to maybe entice him. Gets this son of a bitch in the bathtub. I think she did. She got in the bathtub with him, that's right. Dude, cuts this motherfucker's cock off. Cut it off. And the blood squirting's insane, dude. The tub fills with just red, bro. She leaves. He's just freaking the fuck out, spraying dick blood everywhere. She just leaves, and she goes outside, sits in her living room, locks that motherfucker in there with his dick bleeding out, and listen to the classical music. It's one of the greatest, finest scenes in the history of cinema.
I'm telling you like it is, baby.
It's a good one. But again, don't watch it if you have... Don't maybe you shouldn't watch it. I don't know. But the ending is worth it. When she gets her revenge, oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh my God, Pokemon. Oh, fucked up there. So Tuesday I was going to play Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, and then I changed my mind.
Yeah, I noticed that. Why did you change your mind?
Well, Viv posted on Twitter, I'm going to sit this one out because it messed with me when it came out. I was like, oh, okay. So I like the movie. It's a great film. It's about, it's loosely based on real serial killers, but I did start kind of glimpsing through it, and I was like, holy fuck, dude, instantaneously, it's one of the most graphic things I've ever seen.
I've never seen it. So
it's fucking great. It's a great movie, but it might have been a little too much for 9 p.m. on a Tuesday night. I would actually play that one. I would play that one, Like, I Spit on Your Grave I would never play. That one's too much for me to actually play with humans. But that one I would play, but at a later date. And we ended up going with the John Wayne Gacy film, which actually is really pretty good. Yeah, Poke Bomb.
Senior, is Bob Motta Sr. in there?
No, I think it's the Emiranti. I think that's who's being depicted in there. And they've also changed some names also. Because Bob Motta Sr. came in after the arrest, and this is pretty much leading up to all that.
Yep.
Yeah, I do love some real fucked up movies. I can't lie about it. Yeah, see, yeah. But I'm glad you did. I'm glad you said that because it was a bit much for that Tuesday night, and I don't want to scar my audience. There ain't no need for all that.
Yeah.
We do that with reality-based content.
True.
So, yeah, a wild one tonight. Everybody hanging out tonight. Really appreciate the shit of it. Keep your eye on socials tomorrow for whatever the hell we're doing on Feral Friday.
Steve, you missed a super chat earlier.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, or a super sticker, sorry. Ashy Snow, $9.99. Thank you so much.
Oh, fuck. Ashy's always coming through. Oh, I did. Boom, Ashy. What are you doing? Boom. Let me give you some love. I'll give you some Holly love.
I think you were reading or something when she put it in, so.
Tonight, I have been everywhere, and I've been on fire, guys. Ashy is absolutely
honestly,
amazing.
dude, I really like Bob's format of like doing all that at the end of the show.
That's pretty cool too.
I think that's a good format.
I do have one thing that I can't.
It doesn't interrupt the flow of the show. It's just
we have one issue with that.
Do all that at the end.
So Bob is using StreamYard, and I'm guessing that they keep all that tallied so he can go back and look.
That's true.
The way we do it, it disappears.
Yeah.
That's actually why I do it once they come out because, like, I don't want, like Ashley, I don't want you to feel like you weren't like represented for giving that $9.99. I really want you to
keep rolling. It disappears and we'll never get it back.
Like, I really enjoy that we can kind of give something a little extra to folks. And again, I've got, random sound bites that I try to do for people. Again, if I get time. It's for Amber.
And Holly Berry just said that her entire purpose is to interrupt the flow.
Holly's awesome. I appreciate it. Well, tonight, guys, Tonight I was on fire. I was feeling it. I knew that I was coming in with a lot of, that's anytime I come in with something I know what's going down, I can pretty much roll. So, but it does let the show flow.
Strong opinions on these fuck faces. So,
I do. And hey, Jessica, what's going on? Thank you for coming through here. Appreciate it. Love Jessica for Justice. She's awesome on Twitter. But yeah. Tonight was crazy. Again, man, we can all have our own opinions. We can have differing opinions without being scumbags to each other. Like, well, that's the problem that's happening right now that I would love to see just stop, which it's not. I mean, who am I? I'm a random dude here on the internet, but I don't know. Man. What are the birthday candles for? Somebody's birthday?
If it is, I missed it.
Happy birthday to somebody.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
You head out the door. Hit that like, share this out, let people know that we had a banger here tonight. I'm going to be sharing it on Twitter tomorrow. All that really helps us out Public Buzz as we continue to grow, baby, grow this thing to the moon. Jay, my man, let me make sure I set him up tomorrow. We'll see if he's got it. I bet he does. He's going to be streaming in the morning, I bet you. Let's see if I can send you his way. Yeah. Here we go, Jay. And I know he said earlier he wasn't sure if he was going to be going back into this Lori Ann Phillips case. There's a possibility that he won't be. We'll see. But you are going to be going into this stream anyways. When you get there, make sure you show some love to Jay, the motherfucking man. Shaming Jay.
That trial.
My personal favorite channel here on YouTube.
Have you been watching that trial, Stevie?
I was working a lot today, and I was kind of in and out of it.
Jesus Christ.
But I see it's almost like the Karen Reedish job, right?
It's something else. I mean, well, yeah, but the trial itself is
brutal to watch.
It's brutal. She's on the stand right now, unless they finished up today. I don't know.
That's the last thing I saw. She was still talking.
But, it's just, dude. It's just the nobody seems to fucking know what happened. Like, everybody seems unprepared. I'll say that. The fucking judge is like doing the lawyering for the lawyers half the time. It's insane. It's wild.
Oh, I did see some of that. I did see some of that.
I've never seen such a like unprepared case trial in my life. It's unbelievable.
And imagine that it's a murder trial. Like that's scary as hell.
It's
but
unbelievable.
I haven't been able to be truly invested into that one just because of work today. But when I did get to go in there randomly, it seemed like it was pretty tedious.
Yeah, it's insane. And the judge is fed up. He's fed up. He wants it over with. I'm sure
He's like, and that's what you never want that, right? You don't want the judge to be, let's get the hell out of here. Oh, thank you, Sato to Globalism. Love you. Love you.
But it's so fun because it's fun. It's fun to watch anything with Jay. Honestly,
it is. Yeah, it's absolutely the best. Jay's the man. He done passed out on me, I think.
Yeah,
I don't see him chatting anymore. Good night, Jay. Sweet dreams, bud. We love you.
Sweet dreams, Papa.
All right, guys. Yeah, make sure you're following on all the socials, the Twitter. Make sure you're following Dan. Yeah, all the things. Keep your eyes on everybody, whether that's Bob Mata, whether that's Joe Jackalone, whether that's us, or whether that's Jay. We're doing the damn thing. And
crew, baby.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen here. Love you guys.
Good night.
Make sure I get my thing. Yeah, the portal set up. Love you. Good night. Dan hit it first, but later.